So this video is going to be very different than my normal, not so normal video on this channel, because I don't think we really have a normal video. But my daughter Riley is 5 years old, and in a few weeks she's going to be starting kindergarten. And since my wife and I both work full-time, she's been going to a daycare slash preschool since she was 2. But here recently it's not working out to be the best place for her. And even though we're just a few weeks away from the end, what's best for her is what matters. So we pulled her out of that, and I am going to basically take the next 2-3 weeks off and spend some time with Riley. We're gonna have some daddy-daughter time before it's time for her to go to kindergarten. So this video is me and her going to a museum to learn about kind of the local history of our area. All right, Rye, what are you most excited to see here today?
The baby bobcats, even if they're not babies anymore, and the fox.
The fox? Yeah. So recently they got some baby bobcats, and we came to see them right when they got them, but they were sleeping, so we didn't get to see them. Now it's a bunch later. She still wants to see them, but I told her they're probably not babies anymore. What do you think? They're gonna be this big now?
I think they're gonna be this big for like a kid baby bobcat.
Okay, let's go see.
If they're in there, I'll look at them, and if they're still sleeping, I'll just see the fox.
Okay. Right, come here. Look up.
I see a bobcat.
He's not such a baby anymore. Think there's another one?
They said baby bobcats.
They did. They did say cats.
So that means there's a field. I think the other ones are hiding.
Okay, right. Now we're gonna go through the old times. And we're gonna go through all the timeline of history from when people first started living in this area to modern times. So we'll see what the Native Americans had.
But I just heard a bald eagle.
You heard of bald eagle? Well, we'll go see if we find one. We're gonna go see what the Native Americans had and how they lived, then how the settlers lived when they came, and then how everything got newer and newer with stores and houses. You ready? Mm-hmm. Let's go. See, right, this was the first camps, how they lived. They had their little tents and they wrapped them in the brush and grass, and that's a canoe.
Ooh. That kind of looks like a swan or duck.
It kind of does.
Ooh, a sandal.
I think that's a snowshoe.
I know.
You know? See, then, oh, look at Beaver.
Oh, he's cute.
See, right, then the settlers started to come, and they had tents with canvas, and they had saddles for their horses, and there's a bobcat right there.
Oh, damn.
See, they had pots and pans to cook in.
And there's a hat on top of that tent. Ooh, boots.
Hey, their laces are in the back, not the front. That would actually make a lot of sense when you're walking through brush and grass.
Mm-hmm.
Look, they had a wagon.
That's huge.
Yeah.
How can they even get in there? Maybe they used ladders.
Probably. But look, that carries all their tools and their pots and pans. And this is their kitchen box. All their utensils and their plates.
It kind of looks like a food box, like when you're going on a picnic to the beach.
Yeah, or like when we would go camping and we take a box like that with all our kitchen stuff in it.
Look at a golden treasure chest.
Oh yeah.
It even has a lock right there.
Ooh, to keep the treasure safe?
Uh-huh. Ooh.
Check this out, Rye. These were the map makers. These guys came out and they used their transits up there, and they drew maps of the area so that the settlers knew where to go. And this was their cart that they would bring along with all their supplies.
Did horses bring them there?
Yep. Look at this, right? This is a telescope. And see all their little dials and gauges? And a compass. And this is an old school transit.
And I think this is a compass.
Yep, it is. Once the settlers started to move in, and then the map makers came out and made the maps and surveyed the area, then they found out where the silver and mercury and the gold was in the mountains, and they came in and started mining. So now we're going to go into the mine. Check this out, right? Here's one of the mine carts. They dug out all the rock out of the tunnel and they put in the cart and they used it on like little train tracks to bring it out. And here's the elevator to get in and out of the mine.
Wow.
Right, look at this. Look through here. There they have the dynamite. See, they would use their picks and their hammers, and they would put those holes in the rock up there and stick dynamite in it and blow it up so that the rock would be loose, and they would get these big rocks that they could haul out.
Wow. I mean, I think it didn't.
Now, Rye, those were the underground miners. Now these were the surface miners. These were the guys who've tried to find gold in the rivers and creeks.
Oh, they're panning.
What's that?
Panning.
Panning for gold? Yeah. Here's where they would pan for gold.
Ooh. I see a tiny bit of gold in there.
You do?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, look at that. So these guys would use their shovels and their pans and they would put the river rock in the sluice box here and sift out the gold.
Ooh.
Remember when we went and saw the dredge?
And I panned.
And you panned and found gold?
Mm-hmm.
That's what these guys would do out of the river.
And I found that red little pretty thing.
Garnet. Yeah. We should.
I found 2 gold.
Yep. We should take Mama back to that place.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool up there. This here's one of the cabins that the miners lived in.
Ooh. They have mini hats.
Yeah.
And a roller. And a spoon. And a cup. And another hat. And some clothes.
Right. This is tiny homes before tiny homes were cool. See, right, once people moved in, they needed to make a town to have all the stuff. This here is where they made the saddles for all the horses.
For the horses?
Yeah, see, this is where they made all the saddles.
I see some.
Yep, and you see all the tools they used to make them?
I see a pretty saddle right there.
Yeah. Right, this is the assayer's building.
Ooh.
This is the guy who would buy the gold from the miners and figure out how much it's worth and give them money
Oh.
for all the work they did. See, they had their scale there and they had all their little pots to put the gold in and they had their furnace. And once they got their money from the assayer, they'd come in here to the shop and they would buy their tools and food and supplies that they needed. Ring the bell. And this is the original cash registers. So they figured out how much stuff cost and would do the math on how much money they needed to pay.
What?
And I have no idea how this works.
What if how much money is sending on how much of these it got?
See, they had shovels for the miners to buy.
And clothes and hats.
And clothes and hats.
I already said clothes and hats.
Sorry, I didn't.
And lights. They have lights. Pretty
Yep.
lights.
And plates and food supplies.
And I also have that big weighing thing.
Yeah, scale.
And that picture.
And you see the lanterns up there for when working in the dark?
Mm-hmm.
And then once you bought everything you need, you took your leftover money over here to the bank. So you come up here and you put your leftover money that you in the bank and make things called investments.
Best place in the museum.
This is your favorite room in the museum? This is where the people lived out on the range. You had your fence to keep your animals. And this was the old school bulldozer basically, right? You'd hook this to the back of a horse and you would use these back here to scoop up the dirt and then go dump it where you needed to level the ground. You see over here is the farmer's barn. This is where they would park their wagons at night. Oh, you want to take a picture next to the barn? Okay. There you go.
Ooh, a wheel.
Yeah, that's a wagon wheel.
Another wheel, and another wheel, and another wheel.
So this is the cabin they lived in on their ranch. Yep, that's their bed. Here's their stove. Here's some bunk beds. They're not behind the thing, so you can lay on those and see how they slept. Fun.
It's hard to get on that one.
Is it as comfortable as your bed?
No,
No.
just something like
But look, they had their instruments to play music.
bed.
And look, their table.
And the bed.
And the bed. Would you like to live in a place like this on a ranch? Why not?
Because the bed's not as comfy as my bed.
Oh, what if we brought your bed? No? Okay. So right over here is after they got some electricity and more modern houses. So after they moved out of the cabins, they started building houses like this.
There's a black and white show.
Yeah. See, once they...
That's really long.
Yeah. Once they stopped using logs for the cabins, they started milling lumber. And then they could build real houses like this. And we're going to go see the lumber mill in a bit, okay? Look at this wood fire stove. See a kitchen, sewing machine to fix the clothes, a telephone and a radio.
Ooh, that's a pretty outfit.
It is a pretty outfit. Look at the shoes they wore.
That's pretty.
This is what a young Native American woman used to wear. And see, up there's how they're making it. Whoa, check this out. Is this all made with paper?
Yes.
It is. Right, look at the paper cowboy on a horse. What do you think of that? Good, yeah. You think you can make a paper cowboy that big?
No.
Of course you can.
No, it's too big. It won't even fit in the office.
Well, sounds like we need to get you a bigger art studio then, huh?
No.
Do you wish you had a big enough art studio that you could make something that big?
Maybe outside.
Outside? Okay, we'll work on that. Okay, let's go out and look for the horse display. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be a movie and not real horses. Okay. Okay, right, we got to get down to the birds of prey area, okay? That's where the bald eagle is that you heard earlier. That I'm pretty sure was really just a kid screaming.
No, it wasn't.
You think it was a bald eagle?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
It was like this. But
How did it sound?
it sounded like
Is that what they say?
eagle. Like that.
Okay. What the heck is that?
It just sounded like that. But also,
Right. What's that right there? Look it. Straight across. Through the trees. What do you see through the trees right there?
a bald eagle.
Should we go get it?
That's what I heard, Dad.
That's it?
I told you there was.
Okay. Let's go see it.
Okay. I told you I heard the bald eagle.
Hey, look at the owl.
Oh, there it is. Remember we saw an owl turn its head?
You remember the big one at our house?
Mm-hmm. I told you I heard about the eagle there. Dad, look up at that one.
That's a golden eagle.
Wow. Golden eagles are huge.
Yeah, they are.
I would like one on our porch. That would be way too big.
I would love to see that on our porch. Okay, ready to go see the horse display?
Is it in here?
Yeah, I don't think it's real horses though, okay? This is quite the realistic display here.
Areas in the American West are about 25 to 40 million acres, and have health on both sides. So this is a great law at this point. So the management of wild horses fell completely.
So the horse talk had, what do you say, too much talk and not enough horses? Yeah. So we bailed on that, and now we're gonna go check out the sawmill since we're already outside here.
What's the sawmill?
The sawmill is the old village where the chickens are on the outside and they cut the lumber.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Yeah. And then we're gonna go back inside and see all the reptiles. Sound good? Mm-hmm. So out here, right, they have like a whole old town set up. They got the barns and the corrals. And they got the little house in the ground where you keep food because it keeps it cold, like insulation. And cabins. You want to see in the ground?
That's my favorite underground place.
So they would build these houses down into the ground, right? Because the earth makes good insulation.
Oh, I see some things.
Yeah, see they have the cans in there.
Strawberries.
See the canned food and all the stuff in here?
I see.
Let me turn on the light. There you go.
I see a lot.
See, right, this is basically the pantry.
Ooh, pink.
And what you probably don't remember is our house in California. It was built in 1886, and one of the rooms in the back was buried in the ground like this because that was originally the pantry.
Oh.
And then they added it onto the house. So we had a room just like this at our California house.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we lived in a super old house.
But now we're living in a new house.
It's newer, yes. There's the bathroom. You want to go up and see the sawmill? And we'll see how they got the logs to the sawmill? With the big Caterpillar dozer?
I know how they did.
How did they get the logs to the sawmill?
Boat with logs.
What did they do?
Boat with logs.
A boat with logs? Oh, like the one we saw at the beach?
At the coast.
Well, here they did it a little different. So, right, this is an old Caterpillar 60.
Caterpillar.
That's the name, Caterpillar. And that is an old logging arch. So there's a cable that would come down, or a big chain, and they would bundle up all the logs after the loggers cut them down.
I know. This thingy pulled those.
Yeah, and they would pull it from the woods back over to the sawmill.
Oh.
So now should we see where they go into the sawmill? Let's go.
I think it's that big house.
It's over here. So the log skidder would drag the logs over here and would drop them off, and they would roll them up these ramps onto the deck here. And then as they were ready to mill the logs, they roll them over there onto the sled. That big long thing is called the sled, and you see how it holds onto the logs with those little spikes?
It's kind of like a roller coaster.
It is.
A log roller coaster.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster for the logs. And then here, right, is the steam engine that turns all these belts, and that's what spins the saw blade. And then the sled over there that has the log on it.
You mean the roller coaster?
Yes, the roller coaster over there that has the log on it goes through here and slices off a board on that saw blade there.
Ooh.
And then the board falls down right here onto those rollers. And then they move that over. See the big lever off of the roller coaster? they ratchet that lever and it moves the log over the width of one board. And then they roll the sled through again, sorry, the roller coaster through again, and it cuts off another board. So let's go around the other side and we'll be able to see that a little better, okay? So now we're on the other side. Yep, and there's the roller coaster, and you can see where it comes back and forth on its little track right here. And the saw blade cuts off boards. You can see there's a board right there on the rollers. And then they roll them down here, and you see this other saw blade right here. And there's the belt that drives that one. So they roll them down here to the length they want, and then that saw blade comes out and it cuts them to the length. And then it comes out of there right to here, and they put it over on the stack right there ready to go. Is that pretty cool?
Yes, but I'm getting wet.
So it's raining a bit, which is actually really good because it made everybody go inside, and we have the whole town out here to ourselves. And the problem is Riley's head's getting wet, so we found the solution. Is it working good? All right. Oh, there's one.
We might go do that. Okay, let's go.
How's it feel?
Okay.
Soft.
Soft?
And then are you ready to go back to the car? Yes.
I don't see him. Do you see him?
I don't know. Maybe they're sleeping.
I'm just kind of setting up the game. They're going to go back. You don't have to if you want. Well, I mean, you don't have to.
So we decided to stop and get some lunch before we go see reptiles when we're getting hungry. And then we don't have to rush through the reptiles. 'Cause that's the fun part, huh? How is it? That was a huge bite, right? Right. This is 2 different sandwiches. Look. You can eat them like that if you want, though. Oh, look at that big one up there.
What big one?
The big lizard.
Go back up to see the turtle.
I see a snake in here. I see its face and its food.
You don't see it? It's camouflage.
Damn. Is that the venomous snake?
Yes, that's a venomous snake. And right, there's another one right here.
Ooh.
Okay, Rye, you ready to head to the gift shop? Okay. Alright, well we hit up the gift shop. Rye, what'd you get? You got an owl that hangs out on your arm, or is that a hawk?
I think it's a hawk.
It is. And then what's this bird do? Oh, we're gonna love hearing that all night.
This one makes noise too.
Oh, it does. But the most important part, Rye, did you have a good time today?
Yes.
And did you learn stuff?
Yes.
All right, that's what matters. So we are gonna head home. Sounds like I'm going to be taking a couple weeks off and spending with Riley, doing some daddy daycare, preschool type of thing until her kindergarten starts. Because I think that is what is best for her. So, you ready to do this again tomorrow? Maybe not here, but something else. Where should we go tomorrow?
Maybe the trampoline park.
Sounds good to me. But real quick before we go, check out what they got on display in here. All nice and pretty and do not touch, because it's got to be just so pristine and perfect. If only they knew what these were actually capable of. If you want to see, click on this video here. If you've already watched it, watch it again, because that's my favorite recovery.